Nerds Talking, the podcast.
Yo, we talk about lightsabers, stunning your TV screens, what you want to stream, everything beyond your dreams. Want to talk about movies, sports, or even politics? Go ahead and tune into us. We'll give you all of it. Whatever you're debating, Xbox or PlayStation, Marvel or DC, Mac or PC. Teraflops when the movie drops, gigabytes, chips, RAM, no matter what it is, we got all of it. Welcome to the show.
Nerds Talking, the podcast.
Welcome to Nerds Talking, the podcast. I'm here with Carlos, Johnny, and Hugh. I'm Lafayette. Hey, fellas, how you doing?
What's up?
Johnny, how you doing?
I'm good.
That's fantastic. Fantastic. Hugh,
Who the
how's
hell
it
are
going?
you?
I'm good.
Who said, who the hell are you? Are you
How
okay?
the hell are you?
Wow, that language is, it's a children's show, but I'm pretty good. Carlos, how are you today?
I'm good.
Fantastic. So welcome to Nerds Talking, the podcast. New episode, new Friday. I guess every Friday is a new Friday. Unless you've repeated a Friday, that'd be interesting. You should call in, let me know. Call in, we don't have a number, but if we do have a number, I'll let you know that too. Carlos, how's the website coming?
You know what? Give me a minute. I'm actually going to preview it for you.
All right, we're gonna look at the website in a second.
Yeah.
Johnny, do you have any cryptocurrency?
I do not.
Good for you. Good for you. It's all going to shit right now.
That's
Hugh,
what I hear. That's what I hear.
Hugh, do you have any NFTs?
No,
No.
I know almost nothing about that. I know we talked about it in a prior show, but I know very little about it.
I will tell you an NFT story here before we jump into our first topic. NFTs are very interesting. They're stupid, but they're very interesting. Basically, people buy digital art. That's what it is. Non-fungible tokens, but it's just digital art. So there's a couple, I think they're in Ohio, possibly, from what I remember, and they owe $50,000 on their home. That's how far back they are in their home. And they don't have jobs that can, cover that cost.
Wait, I'm sorry.
So-
Before you go on, they're behind $50,000
$50,000
in their payments. So they're like,
they haven't paid because COVID was their thing, right? Like, oh my God, we lost our jobs and we're back $50,000 and they're about to kick us out of the house, blah. Anyway, all that type of stuff. So somebody tells them, hey, why don't you guys create an NFT? And they're like, oh, okay. Can you show us how? Yeah, sure. We'll show you. Make an NFT. So they create a series called, I think it's Dastardly Ducks. And it's basically one duck, but of course they put different clothes on the duck. That's how NFTs typically are.
Just like that monkey. with
Just like the
different
monkey.
faces.
That's
Yeah.
really the ape. Yeah.
Ape. Yeah.
In a total of 6 days, they make $150,000
What?
selling their NFTs. They sold each one. They had 100 of them. So of course, do the math. They sold each one for
You do the math.
$1,500 each.
Thank
Sold 100 of them, $1,500. And look how crazy that is. In 6 days, they not only got to pay off what they owed, they paid off the house.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, one of them's an amateur artist. I mean, I say amateur as if they're blind and had no arms.
so you're being generous.
Yeah. And it's just, they said that their friend knew all about NFTs and said, I can help you sell them, and sold them in 6 days, and boom. And that's crazy. NFTs I think they're good play if you know how to market yourself selling NFTs, but they're also going to end up like everything else where the market's going to be so flooded, not going to be worth anything in the long run. Like, why would you buy a digital image for $1,500? You know?
Well, what, without me having to Google it, what are the images of?
Well, no, they're like a cartoon duck. But
Oh.
it's all like I said, it's like a cartoon duck. What I'm saying though is, it's kind of like, okay, I could buy this digital NFT which has a marking on it, like just like Top Shots we talked about plenty of times, NBA Top Shots, same idea. I mean, NBA Top Shots are NFTs, really. That's what they are. Or I can go to an artist that I really like and say, hey, I'll give you $1,500 to draw whatever I want, and I can have it in my house hanging, and it's one of one, and nobody can own it but me. And it's probably gonna be worth more in the end, because if I try to resell an original art piece, it's probably gonna be worth more. But NFTs are wild, because Paris Hilton was on Jimmy Fallon this week, and she bragged about how she bought one of those apes. And she's like, I bought one of those apes too, Jimmy. And then Jimmy busted it out like he had a copy of it. So he this is the one you're talking about? And everybody started clapping and cheering. I was like, what are we cheering? This is a sad achievement. What do we do? Clap at anything that celebrities do? Like anything? It doesn't matter what they do. Like, Celebrities can say, I took a shit before the show, Jimmy. Oh my God, you mud's fantastic.
You mean this shit? And he pulls out
Yeah,
his shit.
and he actually pulls this shit out. Yeah. We saved it from the green room. Like, I don't know. It's funny. When I saw the Paris Hilton clip, I didn't think about the NFT thing. I thought how people just, the treatment of celebrities is hilarious to me. I mean, don't you guys think so? It's like, it's a whole different world of people see celebrities and treat them completely. I don't know. Hugh has a lot of, of course, interaction with celebrities in his lifetime. Go ahead, Hugh. You wait. He's like, I gotta say something.
Well, did you see that story from Shaquille O'Neal today? It's in his book about meeting Prince, like his second year in the league. And he said, man, there are levels of celebrity. I thought I was a celebrity until we do the All-Star game in Minnesota. And we go to an after party at Prince's house, or no, at a club. That he said Prince was acting like he owned it. And then I realized he does own it. And then I go upstairs and I see like 20 different, he had like a beauty pageant. And he says, I see these like 20 different women like feeding him grapes and, massaging his feet and massaging his hands. And they don't even look twice at me. So I thought that was very interesting that the level of celebrity is even profound in the world of celebrity. There are levels of celebrity there. You could think you're the biggest thing in the world, but you're not. There's somebody who has more celebrity than you do. And yeah, I met plenty of them in Los Angeles.
I think though, with the Paris Hilton on the talk show, the audience, is there for entertainment. They're very like enthused to be there. I don't think it's necessarily because the whole crowd loves Paris Hilton. I mean, yeah, she's an influencer or whatever, but I think the excitement comes from attending the show, not from her buying a fucking NFT.
You're right. I mean, that's the idea, right? They're more excited actually to be at the Tonight Show necessarily and participating in the Tonight Show. It's like going, or what if you went to a filming of, I don't know what show they do in front of a studio audience these days, but let's just say Friends, right? At the time they did it in front of a studio audience. It's like going there and every time like people were laughing, boo, that joke was shit. Like, not a good joke. I can write a better joke. You guys should do fart jokes. like
I think they're just hoping to be seen. Like maybe they'll swing the camera around and then I'll get my 2 minutes or 2 seconds.
You know what? They used to do that. They don't do that anymore on the late shows.
Right.
Remember who did it a lot was Letterman. Remember Letterman would actually, the beginning of the show, would actually pan the whole crowd and the camera would go down the row. And does anybody here even watch late night TV anymore?
No. When COVID came around, everyone was doing late night from their house, and it was crap. There was something missing from that, Yeah,
it's true. It was
kind of garbage, and then like, every once in a while they'd have a really like good guest on, but then like their audio sucked ass, and so it takes away from it, the quality of everything. So I don't know, something's missing when you do that shit from home. I mean, I say that while we're doing a podcast, but
from home. I mean, you're right though. As I recall watching, well, all of them really, watching Jimmy a couple episodes from his home, with like literally in his like kid's room.
Yeah.
What's his name did it? Colbert, he tried to set it up to where he looked like he was in. Oh, he actually did it in an office. He did it in an office space. The Daily Show just moved straight to Trevor's apartment, and his show was the same. His was the same though. Like his literally didn't very much change.
Yeah, because nobody was laughing. Like,
yeah, exactly. That's where you're like, no, nothing changed. And then when they started doing, who's the other guy on HBO that has the really good show on Sunday nights?
Oliver.
Yeah, John Oliver started doing his, but he did it to where it was just a blank background. So, it didn't really change significantly. But you're right. The home shows were bad. I don't know if did you guys see the SNL they did from home?
No. I think I did. I some of it.
They basically told everyone almost shoot like their own skits at home.
Right.
And they tried to do Weekend Update, which is the best thing SNL has going.
Mhm.
and they tried to do it over Zoom with friends, and Michael Che and I forgot the other guy's name that's married to Scarlett Johansson.
Yes.
What's his face? Lucky Fuck.
Yeah, his name Lucky Fuck. Lucky
His
Fuck
name
Johnson.
actually, I think he actually
Yeah.
changed it to
What is
Lucky
his
Fuck.
name? And he they were doing it just in regular clothes in their living room, whatever, and they even introduced, these are our two friends, they're gonna hang out with us. And it was so bad. It was such a bad segment. It just like, this doesn't work. You can't do weekend update like this, because the idea is that you're fake news people, like, you know.
I got a
Anyway, so
question.
yeah.
Go ahead. I mean, I have a question. I mean, I haven't watched a lot of SNL, but it just isn't that funny to me. And I just wonder if anybody else feels the same way. I mean, even the way, you know, the fake news, it used to be funnier. It used to be funnier when they would play it a little more straight, like we really are a news team, and then somebody would just say something totally off the wall. It was almost funnier. I don't know. I've seen a few shows, and maybe there are funnier ones than I've seen, but it's like,
Does anybody here watch SNL? Because that's something people always say. I used to be really funny. And then you ask them, when's the last time you watched it? Well, it's been like 15 years.
Right.
Well,
Right.
so
Right,
how can you
right.
judge it if you don't watch it? Like, I mean, I watch it every Saturday. I still watch SNL.
I think I get my majority of the SNL from YouTube.
Because they give it all. Yeah, you notice that YouTube puts every skit on there the day after. Yeah, or the night of, you can get all the skits on YouTube. Yeah. I still find it funny. I mean, but there's some episodes where none of it's funny, like at all. It's just
That's what I mean. It's like, it's just nothing.
I mean, there's some where I forgot who it was. The host was recently pretty big celebrity, and it was just a dog shit show. Like, they wrote nothing funny for the whole show, and I was like, this is bad. Nobody notices at rehearsal. There's literally nothing funny about this episode. Like,
Plus,
and that's why Weekend Update's the best thing, because it's always funny, the Weekend Update, because they do play it straight, but it's, you know, it's sarcastic humor about
right.
whatever's in the headlines. But man,
Plus,
yeah.
Plus, I hate when they read off cue cards, and I know they have to because they're learning it on the fly. But I mean, hey, soap opera people can do it. Soap opera people can learn their lines day by day. I mean, just learn the lines so you don't have to read off the cards, because then it even makes it weaker. I think sometimes it just seems like it's the first time someone's read something, and it's like.
Well, to argue against that, I will say that when Bill Hader was playing his character Stefan, they would randomly put shit on the cue cards to make them break, and
Right.
I love that part. I love like seeing certain celebrities break.
I can see that. I can see that.
I mean, there's the cue card thing. I get. I mean, because I think that's the reason why. It's because they probably even change things the day of the show. Like, you know, I just thought something funny. How about we change this on the line? You know,
It's just so obvious. I mean, it's like they
some
stare down the card.
People are really, some people are really good at it, and some people, yeah, like you said, some people are just like, when they get the really bad hosts. For instance, like a Kim Kardashian, she has no clue how to play it, so you can tell she's just sitting there reading the card the whole time. You know,
Right.
Well, did you know that they do two shows on Saturdays? They'll do a pre-show where they'll run all the skits, and then during that show they'll cut what didn't get a reaction, what's not funny, and they do it with a live studio audience. And then after they get their skits all lined up, then they do the show that's aired live on TV.
I heard about that.
Well, they even
he won tickets. It's a lotto. You have to put your name in. You have to win a lotto to get the tickets, and I think you can only get them once a year. But he won the tickets, and it turned out he won the ones for the rehearsal show, or the dress rehearsal show. That's the one beforehand where they run everything and then cut out what didn't get a reaction, what didn't work.
And he couldn't stay for the live show?
No, you can only stay for one.
Huh.
So that's the best of the two shows they do.
That's
that
like getting a ticket to a basketball game. Hey, you can watch the layup lines and then just get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Well, he got to see the whole show. He just didn't get to see the one that was live on TV.
Right, but that's the polished one, supposedly, right?
Well, you're right, but whatever. I mean,
I guess that's kind of cool, but still, kind of a bummer he didn't get to see the whole thing.
Right.
Well, recently recently they did one with Paul Rudd, and the thing is, it's when the new Omicron came around and like, hey, you can't do no shows now. SNL decided they're not going to do a live show that week, and they showed all the rehearsal skits. So there was no audience, nothing, no laughter, absolutely nothing. The show was so bad. It was just so bad. And all of a sudden, 1 week after, they go right back to live audiences. I'm like, why'd you even bother? Like, you ruined Paul Rudd's show just so because you're scared of what? But the next week, everything's fine. The next week, like, oh well. Anyway, good old Omicron still sticking around. Still like, I want to hang out for a little while, fellas.
Did any of you guys get your free COVID test kits yet?
No,
Not yet. I ordered mine, but haven't received it yet.
I tried to order mine. They said it had already been ordered from this address. I'm like,
oh yeah, that means
That's good. That means they're coming your way.
That means if your wife ordered it, then you can't order it twice. Oh,
nobody
really?
did. Nobody did. So I don't get it. I don't get it.
Well, I know what you're not getting.
Here he is.
You know what though? The funny thing is, I have two orders coming to my place. So,
wow.
Is one of the names on a Hugh McCord?
It is. It is. All right, we'll take a break here on Nerds Talking the Podcast. We'll be right back after this.
Hi, this is Justin, one of the 3 hosts from Tabletop and Beyond. I'm excited to talk to you today about our podcast, which focuses on gaming. We talk about wargaming, board gaming, card games, video games. Basically, if it's got the name game in it, we love to talk about it. We dive into the mechanics about what makes games great. Talk about dice rolls, talk about cards, talk about components of the game, the look and feel. We also talk about how much fun you can have playing games. We also like to get into the hobby parts of it. We talk about painting. We share insights on how to model and hobby with your friends. We love all things geekiness and we love games. So if you're interested in gaming, this is the podcast for you.
Welcome back to Nerds Talking the Podcast, here with Carlos, Hugh, Johnny. I'm Lafayette. Remember to rate, subscribe, download, review, turn on notifications. Everybody here saw Eternals, the Marvel Studios movie, now on Disney Plus. We didn't get to review it because when we're going to review it, I was the only one that saw it, and Carlos saw half of it. And then he eventually saw all of it. So, Carlos, you're first on your review for the Eternals.
No.
Okay, Johnny, you're first. Just like, I'm not here.
I don't know what to say to that. Pass.
All right, Hugh, you're up.
Liked it. It started off really slow, I thought, and it started off really poppy, like really nice. And I don't even know how to really explain that. It's kind of why I don't really like pop music, because it's just so nice, and it just kind of started that way. But then about a third of the way in, it started to get a little harder. There were things I didn't like them interacting with civilizations thousands of years ago, and nobody seems to be at all bothered by the fact they're wearing completely different costumes and could do things that nobody else can do. Nobody seemed to like, wow, that's kind of crazy. What's that about? We'll just assimilate into society. No, you're not going to. How can you assimilate into society when someone can fly, or someone can do this, or someone can do that? A third of the way in, it started, I thought, to get better, where towards the end, I actually gave a shit about one of the people that got killed off. Like, it pissed me off. Like, that, not him. I like him, her, or that guy.
You're afraid of spoilers? Because this movie, just let it go, dude. Just let it go.
I didn't say who. I didn't say who.
No. I'm just saying, because you're confusing me now.
Like, yeah, you can say spoilers.
Well, all right. Well, so the guy,
the gay man died. The gay black man.
Not him. The other guy.
Oh, you didn't care about him? Oh, well then, someone's gonna get canceled. It's not me.
I didn't say that. I just said I cared more. I liked the guy that was with the Jolie character.
For I don't know, maybe the first half of the movie, I thought it was Wong.
So did I.
Really? Okay. I was like, man, am I racist? Do I not like my own people? Because they all look alike. No, I thought it was Wong, and I thought that he was going to do that magic finger thing, and
the portal.
A portal's going to come up, but they look very similar.
But yeah, when he gets killed off, I was like, not him. I like him.
Yeah, that whole. I mean, personally, for me, I feel like it was a combination of the script not being great and then the chemistry between everyone not that great. You know, you would think these people are fighting with each other for thousands of years. They'd have a little more camaraderie. You know, they'd be able to, you know, I
Right.
don't know, they seem to get along better, or I don't know. We all have better camaraderie than that whole movie. And then the flashbacks were completely random. You know, like there was no like dream sequence. It was just like, hey, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Then all of a sudden, it's like 10,000 years ago. I'm like,
Like a Family Guy cutout.
But that's usually
even
like,
worse.
that's usually like when I get flashbacks is going to the restroom.
Well, it's yours is different kind
Well,
of
yours
flashback.
flashbacks are more like nightmares.
You're on the 101. It's fucking
Right?
3 o'clock, and you gotta take a
exactly. All of a sudden, I'm standing in the shower just shitting on myself. Did you have another flashback? I sure did, man. I sure did. The Celestials are gonna get us.
Yeah, and then like I don't know. I had issues with Sprite. I mean, what's the point?
I just
Casting a
saw,
girl like especially when you find out in the end like they were all created. Like, why'd you create a little girl?
No,
You know?
no, that
well, to fit in, you know, like
the movie had
wherever
too
they
many
are.
flaws. The movie had way too many flaws. Like, for instance, we're on this earth just to populate it so a celestial can be born just to consume it.
Right.
So then that also negates everything we've seen in every other Marvel movie.
Yep.
There was
Yeah.
no point of anything before this movie. When you saw that, you're like, wait a second, all this was just a waste of time in the last 20 years me watching this shit. Like,
Right.
Other than just mentioning it, it did not feel like a Marvel movie.
no, at all, not at all.
Other than
Right.
saying, "Oh, this is
Yeah.
Thanos" or whatever.
yeah.
And I have a question about that at the end.
I mean, Thanos, yeah, his brother, yeah.
Yeah, and then like just certain little things like choices, like Kumail's like finger pointing gun thing. I don't know.
Oh, that whole storyline was stupid.
That-
too. Yeah.
That I mean, that's the kind of thing that I used to do in my car when someone cut me off. Just that finger pointing thing, and I'm gonna get you. I don't know that.
I mean, didn't you feel like it was a problem that, first of all, they're all androids when you find
Right.
out, but why is it they have separate abilities? Why don't they all just have the Superman abilities? Like,
Yeah, like Icarus's ability.
Like,
Yeah.
they should all be Superman, basically. I don't understand. Or they should have everyone's powers. Why do they have individual abilities? Because they're not, and also the Celestials made them all different races and everything and so on and so forth. But what was the point of that too? I mean, really?
In the very beginning of the movie, remember the Asian chick? She looks at the stars. She's like, "Beautiful, isn't it?" And he says, "I'm Icarus." Like, well, what?
He's trying to prove a point. You don't fucking need those stars.
You know what's beautiful? I'm Icarus.
I can
bitch.
fuck
fly
I
to the
am.
fucking stars.
I'm like, okay. I mean,
the movie just had way too many problems with it because the number one problem was Celestials and the creation of man. That was the number one problem.
Yeah.
Number two is what you pointed out. Why would you make a little kid that has to be a little kid forever?
yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
It's not like Interview with the Vampire where they got caught as a little kid. They were like, hey, you know what? We just need a tiny little person to get the kids' perspectives on things. To tell
they
me,
sup-
like, I
Aren't
don't
they
know.
supposed to assimilate into cultures? And so one of them is a little kid and one of them is
Yeah, but what would it
How does
matter?
how does a
I
little
mean,
kid assimilate into a culture? And then the
Well,
little kid has to constantly, like Sprite says, we have to keep on the move because they can't see a little kid live for 30 years.
well, no, that's true. I mean, that's right. I mean, that's a flaw for sure.
Yeah,
That's
I
a
mean,
flaw.
the movie has a lot of flaws. I mean, they should have made it
And-
to where if they're androids, they can even change their appearance if they need to, you know?
And the whole like Angelina Jolie Vietnam flashback thing, can you guys try and explain that to me? Like, she knows what's going to happen. That's why she gets stage
Yes.
fright. And what?
She's basically
No,
turning-
she sees what's going to happen to them is
Yeah.
that they're just going to die in the explosion of this planet.
and
She
so
already knows. Yeah.
seeing that makes her want to like stab her friends and not save
she
the
turns
one
into
person that
basically what
Absolutely.
the other old Eternals was.
what
What?
what oh good comeback. Chewbacca defense. I just didn't understand that. And then like she eventually comes around, but it's too late, and I don't know. I thought that was pretty stupid.
The movie sucked, bro.
And then at the event, well, before the end credit, there's a big ass head sticking out of the ocean. And how are we gonna deal with that? You know, like it's
you talking about
No,
when-
nobody noticed that.
you talking about
Nobody
when the
noticed that.
Celestials sucked up the 3 people and took them with them?
what? I don't
No, when
even-
the Celestial was starting to be born, and then
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
They-
when
they
started
killed
being
it.
born.
Yeah.
Yeah.
don't
And
worry
Icarus
about
was-
that thing sticking out of the
Yeah,
ocean.
yeah, Icarus was trying to kill them all or stop them or whatever. Yeah. I mean, Icarus was just doing his job. He wasn't even the bad guy. He said, almost
Yeah.
like, I know this. This is what we do. Like,
Right.
We basically, but here's the bad thing is, and Carlos and I brought this up, numerous times about this. We can't interfere with anything, right? Everything must take its place. We're not allowed to interfere with mankind. Why would you not interfere when Thanos wiped out half the population? Because their job was to
Right.
keep the population going, to fill the earth as much as possible.
That's
not
right.
To interfere.
Right. Talk
So
about
That's right.
2 steps forward and 10 steps back.
10 steps.
The only time they can interfere is when those dogs come out. And
That's it. To stop the original Eternals.
Yeah.
Yes. Because they mutated and now we're trying to kill the Eternals.
Again, very dumb movie because it didn't do anything overall for the Marvel universe. It just made me walk out going, well, Endgame was such a good movie, but you just told me it was pointless.
Right. I mean, if I gave a shit about it, then it would hurt my views on Marvel as a whole. But it didn't feel like a Marvel movie. It felt like
Did
yeah.
anybody but me think that Angelina just mailed it in? I mean, I can't
Well, I
imagine at some point on the set she wasn't going, what the fuck am I
No,
doing?
I just don't think she had much to do in the movie in the end. She really didn't.
No, I
No,
know,
I
but she
mean,
didn't
like-
she didn't seem invested in the entire movie. But I can see why. It's like I'm doing it for the paycheck.
I mean, she got paid nicely. I mean,
Right.
Salma Hayek probably got a nice paycheck, and I don't know. We'll see.
She seemed to be into it though, because
Oh.
I saw an interview with her after the fact or before the fact. She was like, I get to be in a superhero movie. Yeah.
But she's also really pretty much the main character.
Right.
The mother, whatever, the adult in the room.
What was her power? Healing.
She
It
could
was
get
healing.
killed.
Yeah, her power was getting killed by Icarus. Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I think I rated it a 1.5 because I just felt like, again, it's almost like they were trying to reset something to start something new for the Marvel universe, and Thanos is a Eternal, I guess, in the end also. And
You know what it
Star
made me
Fox
feel
showed up
like?
and-
It felt like after I saw an episode of What If, like, oh, well, okay,
yeah.
Captain America is a girl now, and Steve Rogers is still a
robot.
little
Captain
little
America's transgendered, Johnny. Get it straight.
I don't know how she identifies, so I'm just gonna say that bitch is huge.
How about the end credit scenes? Did you guys understand the end credit scenes?
That was Blade.
Where?
No.
Oh, you mean the mid?
Remind me again of the
So the
At
first
the
end
end.
credit scene was Angelina Jolie back on the spaceship with, I don't know, Sprite, I think.
Oh,
No,
with
not
the new-
Sprite.
with a new character coming in saying, I know
When
where
Harry
your friends are.
Styles shows
Harry
up.
Styles shows up and watermelon sugar. And
And that's
Basically
when,
says,
when he
you
says
know-
I'm Thanos' brother. That's
yeah,
the
because
one-
he is
Yeah, yeah,
Thanos' brother in the comics. Yeah.
okay.
And how come he's
Um,
not just a little tint of purple? Just a little.
Because he's
Or just a little tint of 5,000 pounds. Like he's still
Yeah,
just
right?
Harry. He's just,
Well, that's
just
just
part of
it.
One Direction. That's all. It is.
He's well, and that's how he looks like in the comic. Like he looks costume from the comic and everything. He looked great when it comes to that. But again, they kind of explained it that Thanos is an Eternal. So that means Harry's a Harry. Star Fox is an Eternal too, then, right? So
So does that mean Thanos was an android?
I guess
Well, I guess not necessarily because those little dog things, whatever, they're not androids.
that's
right?
true. They're not androids.
Because the androids were created.
they
to
created-
stop
After exactly,
Yeah,
they're
yeah, yeah.
created after the fact.
I guess
So
Thanos
is he's a living organism and
Yeah.
whatever. And then the second one, did you guys understand the second end credit scene?
Remind me.
Blade. That was the
Remind me.
introduction of Blade.
It was when Black Knight was in the office and he touches.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
right,
right.
okay.
He touches the God Killer sword
Right.
and has some type of flash or something where you don't see it, but and you hear Blade say something like,
Sure, you want to do
Ready for
that?
this?
"Yeah, you
Yeah.
sure you want to do that?" Mahershala Ali and
Interesting.
I could see
Yeah.
that
Okay.
coming though. I could see the boyfriend becoming something. I could
well, no,
see
he
that.
is. He
He's
has
Black
ability.
Knight. He's Black
He was
Knight.
about to. He was about to tell her. Remember? If you remember that, he was about to tell her before the big
Yes,
special
yes,
showed up.
yes, yes,
He's
yes.
like, I got
yes.
something to tell you. I know you're a robot, but I fuck robots.
What is his?
And,
Tell me, because I don't know him.
Japanese
So explain,
Japanese models only. And she's Asian.
explain it to me, because I don't know it. I don't know his character.
don't know what. Oh, basically, he is. I think a descendant of King Arthur. I think.
yes.
But he has abilities. I don't
What
know
are
his
they?
abilities, to be honest with you. I
Oh.
do not know. But he's been alive forever and
He got a cool
So
costume.
Wait, so
Does have a cool
Jon
costume.
Snow's been alive forever?
Jon Snow's been alive since.
so he doesn't age. He doesn't age
Since
either.
Castle Black. Since he got outed.
yeah,
in
since
Castle
out of
Black.
Castle Black. Yeah, from the
He's
wall.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was kind of disappointed they didn't use him very much. I was kind of
Yeah, he was just a nothing character. Like, man, they should have done something besides the little intro at the end. That
Yeah, in the
was
comics he's
pretty weak.
badass. That's why I'm like, come on, man, this is
But
garbage.
I'll say this though, me not knowing who he was, I could sense it through the whole movie. I could absolutely sense it.
Oh
The
yeah, I mean, why
whole
would
movie
you?
or the first hour? Because he was only in the first hour.
Well, he was in last
Until
30
the end. But I
minutes.
could. But yes, pretty much almost from the beginning when he didn't react to her in any particular way, like most mortal human beings would have reacted.
I
He was like, why
disagree.
doesn't this? Because he was
I
like, why does this
disagree.
bitch have a pulse? What's
No,
going on?
Right.
Well, you know, my
Wait, it's no.
You have a point.
Let me argue this point real quick. That chick was so hot that you wouldn't give a fuck.
I wouldn't.
If she told you she was a robot, if she was a racist, she was a leader of KKK, you'd be like, you know what, you're good inside.
And you know what? I have a dozen children in my basement right now tied up, and
I
I'm cutting their throats at midnight. You want to join me?
I have told
Sure,
fuck
I'm,
yeah,
I'm
you're
down.
the
I'm
super-
down.
wait a second. Wait, she said that?
Yeah, that's what we're trying to argue. 'cause
If
she
she
said
said
she could
that,
do whatever she wants.
everyone
Johnny
here
said that.
everyone here must have said some stupid shit to a hot girl just because she was a hot girl.
I agree. Yes, that's.
No, I've never
Man.
said it.
Like,
and
I love you on the
know.
first date.
In retrospect, not the best game plan. Dude, I was just crossing my fingers for daddy
I-
issues, and no,
I still don't think it's a bad game plan. I mean, I just don't.
no, it's
Yeah.
like on How I Met Your Mother, the naked man. Do you remember that episode? Like the plan is like every time, like, or she'll on a first date, it's not going well or whatever. She goes to the bathroom. When she comes back, you're butt naked, and she'll either like get offended and kick you out, or she'll sleep with you, and she'll find it funny or whatever. And the guy, the naked man, he said it worked 3 out of 4 times, or 3 out of 5 times, or something like
Didn't
that.
work so well for Harvey Weinstein or
No,
Louis
it did
C.K.
not.
So I
Well-
don't know if that
Came
works.
back to bite them strongly in their anuses.
I think it did work though, just the numbers, like how many times it worked. And Louis
It's about,
C.K.
it's
I
about
mean,
percentages. I get you, Jay.
Yeah,
it's,
it's
all about percentages.
all about percentages.
Batting
All about
average.
percentages.
So I'm just saying, like, you know,
I
a
mean, you're not
normal
wrong.
person, if it was
Yeah.
a normal looking girl and said, hey, I got these issues, I'm a robot, or I kill people, I've been alive for 3,000 years, yeah, there might be some issues. But if it was a girl like that, you'd be like, yeah, anything you do is fine with me.
You know, I just be like, look, you're a robot. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can
And-
never
and
get
when I'm
pregnant.
70
All
when
right,
I'm-
we're all, let's
And when
do
I'm
it.
70, you'll still be 30. Sweet.
All right. So, no, I just, the only thing like, Hugh had a point when Icarus shows up to kill the other old eternal monster dog in front of her and Black Knight. He doesn't really have a reaction either.
Right.
You know,
I
he
just says
just-
there's something going on with that
Yeah,
guy. Yeah.
he just looks at him like, what's going on? Like, very calm. Like, what's going on?
He
Like-
walked over and went, how you doing? I'm so and so. I'm like, right on.
Yeah, exactly. Introduce himself. Like, I just punched that thing through a store. Hey, how you doing? You going on a date? Oh, okay, cool.
Well, right. I mean, I was hoping that he would be in the film more because of that part. They're like, oh, okay, so he's obviously something. He's someone.
Right.
And that was it. That's it.
Yeah, no, it
That's
was
it. Show over. Game over.
I said,
I would have liked to have seen him more for sure.
I'm
Sure.
surprised that they acknowledged the DC universe in this movie.
oh, with the Superman line.
The Superman line and the Batman and Alfred line.
I did
Yeah.
say a Batman line. That's right.
Yeah.
I did.
Remember the kid went
That's
up
the
to
first, right?
Icarus, said, "Are you Superman?" I don't wear a cape. Then when they went to the Wong character, he said something about him being Alfred or something like that. And then he goes, yeah, so something about Batman and Alfred when they're all eating it before, I think it was before Angelina went nuts. Or maybe it was after.
Didn't he just tire to a post outside like a fucking raging pit bull or
Yeah.
something like that?
What was the
Or
Batman?
like your old dog Cujo, that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Pico.
Cujo.
Chico.
Chico.
That motherfucker.
No,
bit
what-
me
what-
so many times.
What was the line? What was the Batman? I remember he said
something about Alfred.
too,
in
I
Batman.
remember it.
It was you're like Alfred or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Can't
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I'll see if I
Gotcha,
can
gotcha.
find it.
All right. Well, let's go around the room. Everybody rate the movie 1 through 5. Eternals on Disney Plus now available. It is the latest of the Marvel movies, not including Spider-Man. The latest that ties into the MCU. And Hugh, what is your grade 1 through 5?
Well, I would have given it a 3, but because of the Thanos thing that you guys were talking about, it's got to go to a 2.5.
All right, we got 2.5 on the board. Johnny.
I'm gonna say barely a 1.
Mhm.
And I think the Zack Snyder edition is gonna be a 4. We'll see on that one.
Even if they did that, it wouldn't be great. Carlos, what is your final?
Well, I'm gonna give it a 2 because it was entertaining. It wasn't like Shang-Chi didn't really feel like a Marvel movie, but it was a good movie. It was a fun watch. This one, it flowed. It didn't really hang up on anything, but there was so many loopholes in this so many plot holes. It's just too much. So I'm gonna have to give it a 2. Yeah, 2.
All right, I'll give it a 2. I think it had some good action, has great effects, but overall the story just kind of sucked.
Real
Yeah.
quick, did the blip
Mhm.
bring back the deviants? Is that what I'm?
They didn't really explain how they really came back.
Because if anything, there's less people on the earth after the blip because of all the people that have died throughout the wars, fighting Thanos.
But you're right. The blip, when they corrected everything, could have brought them back. Yes, or even a portal could have brought them back, right? And they don't know, so who knows? Either way.
I feel the rules are pretty loose.
But I mean, if that's what it takes for the Eternals to come out of the shadows, that's a pretty lame reasoning. So, oh well.
So I guess
whatever.
the line is when Gilgamesh, Kingo has the valet, right? No, Gilgamesh has the valet, right? The guy who's recording everything.
Yes.
Yeah, so I guess
Yes.
Gilgamesh makes a joke by calling the valet Alfred. So that gives it the Alfred Batman connection.
Yep, there's that little
Okay.
connecting thing. Connecting
I hope that DC does that in Flash, where Batman is like says something and Flash says Iron Man's gay. That's all he says. It's just
He's all, yeah, the
it's
Eternals
out of
suck.
context. He'll put it out of context. Oh, just like that.
They should
totally out of the blue.
even worse. Iron Man hates gays, and then just go on to the next scene.
Right?
Like nothing. Don't even bat an eye. Just move
Yeah.
on. Just move on.
Bruce is like, Barry, how do we get this guy and that guy? I don't know. Iron Man's really gay, though. And then if we do this, I'm pretty sure we can save Superman. And Batman just continues on, like, you're right about that.
Wait.
First part and the
Barry,
second part.
Barry, what was that last part?
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about that.
Game plan.
Yeah. And you're right. All billionaires are gay except for me. You're right. So, like, he just slides it in. That's gay, too. Don't say that part. Anyway,
Oh
we'll take a break
my.
here on
Oh
Nerds Talking, the
my.
podcast. We'll be right back after this.
Welcome to the How I Didn't Meet Your Mother podcast, where we talk all things sex, dating, and relationships. If you're a virgin, fasten your seatbelt and buckle up, as you're about to learn something. If you aren't, you probably relate to the following stories, you sick fuck. Grab your favorite seat, light a candle, pull your pants down, and grab a towel, as the podcast is about to begin. Here are your hosts, Adrian and Luke.
Welcome back to Nerds Talking, the podcast. Here with Carlos, Johnny, Hugh, and I'm Lafayette. And are you guys excited for The Batman? I know you are. Comes out March 4th. It's 3 hours long. Are you guys excited about that?
No.
No. Okay.
Well, if it's
Hey,
anything like
I am.
Spider-Man, yeah, because Spider-Man was almost 3 hours long. Didn't seem
Dude,
to
I got
drag
a
at all.
fucking bladder infection now because I held my piss during that movie.
I thought,
no, I'm not
okay.
looking forward to a
I'm
bladder
not gonna
infection.
lie. When you said I got a I thought you say boner
Cricket.
watching that movie,
Cricket.
and it would have been like, Hugh, did you hear what I said?
You kind of went away there.
Yeah,
I
I
think you
said,
said something with an ONER.
Yeah. Johnny got a
Yeah,
boner.
rhymes
watching that
with
movie, so-
boner.
Reminds me of boner. I'm super excited for 3 hour movie, man. I heard it's super dark and violent and kind of a horror. and
movie,
Riddler's
yeah.
the Zodiac killer. And
I love it.
Matt
I
Reeves has
love
come
it.
out. Matt Reeves has come out and said that the Riddler is based on the Zodiac killer, and how Bruce Wayne doesn't give two shits about anything. He'll beat the shit out of you, just get out of his way.
But he's not going to kill you.
He still will not kill you. He still holds on to that though, and it does not have an origin story whatsoever.
This is the Pattinson.
Yeah. He's
Batman.
already Batman when you see him, and he's into year 2 of being Batman. Still trying to figure shit out, and it's more of a detective movie. They said, with
I'm just gonna tell you straight up. I am not looking forward to Michael Keaton coming back to be. I'm just not. I don't think he was a great Batman at all.
I just I think it's number one, it's a nostalgia thing, but number two, I don't think he's gonna be Batman in the sense we think Batman. I think he's gonna be Batman in the sense of he's gonna be a mentor, because he's supposed to be a mentor to the Flash in the Flash movie. He's not necessarily
Okay.
being Batman out there at 75 saving the day anymore.
I mean, have you ever seen Mike? I mean, the way he talks, it's just
no, I understand. No, believe me,
it's not my guy that I would put.
He comes off intense a lot.
Yes,
a lot. Yeah.
Bring it down.
But the thing about The Batman is the original length was 4 hours long, and he cut it to 3 hours. So
Well,
actually,
hopefully that's the HBO Max cut.
yeah, it actually is a 4 hour movie.
I'd watch it. I'm totally down with that. Totally
Me too. Oh, because I do like the vibe. I think when you make a Batman movie, it should be dark. He should be trying to solve the most heinous crime there is. If there's a serial killer, as it seems like the Riddler is in this movie, Batman should be going out for that. He shouldn't be trying to stop the smash and grab guy that just decided to run into a store with a hammer and steal jewelry.
That's Robin's job.
Yeah, it is Robin or Johnny's. But anyway, so March 4th, everybody be ready for The Batman.
Can I ask a question? My question is, not being the same level as you guys are with the Marvel universe, is there any other character that is actually a human being that doesn't have superpowers that
Plenty.
really?
Okay.
Well, yeah, you got
Hold on.
Iron Man.
Okay.
You got Hawkeye.
That's
Two.
true. Iron Man, I
Widow.
didn't think about. You're
Wait,
right.
what's the last
Iron Man.
one?
Yeah, you're right. Black
Black
Widow.
Widow.
That's
Yeah.
3.
But you said Marvel, but the same goes with DC. Who else can you think of in Marvel? Well, in DC,
Daredevil.
you got
Daredevil. Punisher.
Daredevil, Iron Fist. He doesn't have magic.
No, he has a power. Iron Fist has a power.
He does.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
Oh, yeah.
Iron
He
Fist.
sucks at.
I mean, he has the Iron
he
Fist.
sucks at Netflix shows.
Because I never look
um,
at these guys the same way. I do not look at Batman the same way as I do. Like in my mind, there's no way he would ever beat Superman or anything. And so in that one movie, when he was holding his own at some points, it was like,
wearing his big
How
old
would-
metal costume.
Wait.
how would
holding
that
his
happen?
own.
That would never happen. I don't care what your costume is.
I hold
think
my own when I go to the restroom. Oh, what are we
I
talking
think
about?
DC characters. Actually, I think Superman. No, I mean, it's maybe only a handful of guys that are also just human that aren't superpowered.
Batman.
Batman,
Robin.
Green Arrow. Basically, all of Batman's adopted family, as in Batgirl and
That's
Nightwing and
true.
blah blah blah.
Right.
blah.
Yeah.
But they're just
Right.
extensions of him. But there's not many. I mean, to be a superhero, I mean, 90% of the time you gotta have a superpower, right? So
Right.
It just sucks that Superman gets all the powers and everybody else just gets one. You know what I mean? Like,
Wonder Woman has all the powers. Well,
No, she
have
doesn't.
X-ray vision.
and she doesn't have heat vision. She only has 2
Oh,
powers.
that's true. She doesn't have heat ray.
She can only fly and has super strength. That's it. She has nothing else. So
Damn it.
yeah,
I hate
yeah.
But I
being
mean,
wrong.
But
Yeah.
she would never lose to
That's
a
my
Batman.
superpower.
She would
I'm always
never
wrong.
lose to a Batman. She should never lose to a guy like
No,
that.
So,
she won't lose to
but,
a Batman.
But you have to
This-
understand though, is the Batman's power is his IQ. That's like the whole thing, is that he was gonna outsmart you no matter what. He knows your next move before you do. That's the idea of Batman. Like he studies so much and he knows this and that, and he studies other people so much that when he fights Superman, he already knows what Superman's gonna do before Superman does it. That's the idea.
But the
Hard
idea
to
that
believe. Hard to
Batman can beat Superman is stupid.
It
That's
is.
just-
Well,
It
of course,
is.
because of one reason and one reason only. Superman has super speed, just like
Yeah,
the Flash.
exactly.
And that's what makes Flash almost one of the most powerful characters there is, because
I
he's too
agree.
fast.
I agree.
Like-
He's as fast as Superman,
Well,
right?
it's one of the
Not faster.
like Eternals. We just finished talking about Eternals. Who beat Icarus in Eternals?
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was the chick
girl
that was
dressed
too
as
fast
Flash.
for him.
Yes,
beating the
yes,
shit out of
yes,
him.
Yes,
And
yes, yes.
he couldn't catch up to her at all. He couldn't see her. He just kept
Yeah.
beating the shit out of him. And I thought, yeah, that's if I was the Flash type of character, I'd be the same way. Like
Right.
if somebody was robbing a bank, all of a sudden his head explodes against the wall. Nobody saw me do it. Like I'm
Yeah.
gone.
which was that guy in The Boys. It was
Yeah, there you go.
What's his name in The
Yeah.
Boys? Yeah.
Yeah. The Boys is a great example. Exactly. It's a great example show that if you had a superpower and you actually used it for for what you can use it for, you wouldn't beat around the bush. You would just, unless you're an android, Johnny would always beat around the bush. You know what I'm saying?
There would be no bush to beat around.
That is true.
He beat all the
That is true.
bushes.
Do you think when the gay android swallowed, he glitched? Anyway,
No, it gets into Rick and Morty territory right here.
yeah. Yeah, you're right. And plus, Rick is kind of an android too. He has a lot of new parts in him. So, all right,
I
let's
get-
move on.
Well, I get what you're saying. It just always bugs me though, because and especially in that one movie with Batman, there's no way he would beat Superman in tests of strength and tests of
Well,
taking a shot, and he was taking shots, and I'm like, how are you taking a shot? I don't care what your costume is made of.
Well, unless Superman was pulling punches, that's the only thing I can think of.
well, it's kryptonite gloves too, right? Or he had all the little tricks of the trade. Which,
Yeah, no, exactly. That's what I'm saying. He knows everything. He knows, and that's the thing. I don't know if, like in the comics, the thing is always that Superman keeps a file of everybody's
Batman
weaknesses. Batman, I mean, to take out everyone if he needs to, because no matter what, he doesn't trust anybody else's superpowers. Does not matter if they're friends or not. He'll never trust them. So he has a file of this is how you kill the Flash. This is how you kill Green Lantern. This is how you kill Superman. This is how you kill Aquaman. And
his file on me just has like all these fast food restaurants and Crab Supreme. Oh, fucking
And
not
McDonald's.
even that. He looks you up, Johnny Lee.
And
Oh,
to
he'll
that
die he'll die of heart disease.
and to that point, the lead character in The Boys, there's no way at the end of that he would ever in a one-on-one beat the what's his name in The Boys. Never,
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, he would never.
I disagree though, because he's so mentally fucked up. He's got all these issues that if you fight him with him fighting all the demons, like it opens up that window, right?
I don't know
because
how he doesn't seem to have any. Even if he was, lying there in a crumpling, crying mess, he still is not going to be killed.
Right, but think about it this way. Let's say I'm scheduled to fight Mike Tyson in his prime. 2 minutes before Tyson goes in the ring, I fucking shoot his mom in the head. He's gonna be fucked up, right? He's not gonna want to
But you're still not going to beat him, though. He's still not going to take your best shot and go down. He's going to take your shot
Johnny, he would kill
and wake
you.
up for a second, and he's going to knock you into death.
I get. Well,
I mean, here's the thing.
You're assuming that he's gonna go in like, I don't know.
No, Johnny, you're
not being
Johnny,
affected by that. That's
No,
what
I
I'm
get
He
it,
saying.
would
but-
be.
Of
He
course,
would
but-
be. He
But
would
your
be.
flaw is basically you against Superman. You could try your hardest, but in the end, you're really not going to win. You could think you're going to win because you know
Even
all
if
this
he-
stuff, but
Even if he's crushed by what happened, I
No.
get that.
yeah. But that's why Batman. Before we move on to the next topic, in the movie you're talking about, BVS, Batman versus Superman, the sequel to Man of Steel, which was horrible.
Wait, whoa. Which was
During-
horrible. Man
during
of
the
Steel or
fight-
BVS?
Whoa.
You pick one. You pick
Whoa.
one. Which one do you want? Pick
No,
one. No, you have to pick.
I'll
You
kill
want to lose a brother? Keep it up,
Yes.
motherfucker.
you know, when when Superman showed up, he had these supersonic speaker things and messed up his eardrums and screwed him up, and this, like, he had all these tricks and gadgets because he knew this is what you
No.
need to beat him. That's all. So I mean, I'm saying, and what did Superman do? Tore off his car doors like a punk ass bitch.
Yeah, but what's funny is that how did he know this much about Superman? He couldn't possibly have studied him that long or known all his weaknesses. Impossible. And I don't even know how he understood how kryptonite was a weakness. I don't know how he knew that.
because
He went
got
to
that from-
LexCorp and stole the kryptonite. But it's like, how do you even know what this green meteor does?
Well,
'Cause
in
you
the
don't know.
original
It's there.
version, there were a lot of questions unanswered, right? The extended version helped out a little bit, with all that stuff. Like, for example, the dude who goes into the courtroom and blows himself
Blow
up in
shit
that
up.
wheelchair.
Yeah.
Like in the original one, I was like, why the fuck is this dude so pissed off? Like, Bruce Wayne didn't like cripple his legs, but he's
Right.
out on vengeance or whatever. He doesn't cash any of his checks. He'd rather be homeless. I'm like, that didn't really make sense.
That was dumb.
Yeah. So we're gonna have to get an extended version. That's all.
Oh, my question is, did Batman and Superman make it in that little scene where they're having the drink? How could they not? How would you not?
Wait, what? What?
What? What?
You know,
What
when the
makes
scene
what?
again,
What?
Batman when he's having the drink with not Superwoman, but what's
Wonder
her name?
Woman.
Yeah, Wonder Woman. Yes, thank you. Did they
When
make
he's
it?
when he's having the
Did
drink?
they
with
make
her?
what? A drink?
I don't get it. What part?
they do it?
you're
Did
talking
they
about-
get
asking if they had
together?
You're
sex?
talking about Injustice League.
Yeah, no, I'm trained. I switched. I went to a different.
You went to
Yes.
this movie.
I went to a different movie.
Oh.
Just bear with
So do
me.
you think
Bear with
Aquaman
me.
have
Bear
sex
with
with fish?
All
What
right.
movie
No,
are you
I
talking
don't.
about right
But
now?
I want to know about Batman and Wonder Woman. Did they get together in that movie?
no.
You
No,
don't need to
but she
talk
would've
to
ripped
us like
his-
you're
she
we're
would've
your
ripped his dick
daughters. Like
off.
you don't need to like sugarcoat it.
You know,
Do you think
Did
they?
they-
Did
Did
get
they
ready?
fuck? That's all I want to
my
know.
question to you is: did you watch Wonder Woman 84?
Did they
I
make
did.
it?
I did.
Well,
I
then
did.
you clearly know Wonder Woman is obsessed with only one person, and he's
I know that, but they seem
Hey,
like they were.
Trevor.
They seem like they were interested.
No, I
for
get
the
it. I know what
moment.
you're saying. It passes off that way, but in the end,
I mean, if they could actually get drunk, then they would do it, right?
Yeah.
Because I fuck you to death. No, I fuck you to death, and then they just take turns for
Wonder Woman would kill
hours.
Batman.
not that one.
She
Woman, that's the
would.
thing. Not
She would.
that one.
No,
She's
I mean, in
fucking-
like a drunken sexual rage, she would kill Batman.
She
But
would
that
just
would
tie
be-
that lasso of truth around his cock. 3 inches. I fucking knew it.
But that.
And then he would die of humiliation.
Well, no, talk about it. Talk about a happy ending.
I'd go out like that.
Yes. hell
But
yes.
all right.
All right.
we
Sorry
went
about it. Sorry, it
from-
was a
from-
Well,
diversion.
now we know
We went-
Johnny's cause of death will not be heart disease. It'll be autoerotic asphyxiation.
From Wonder Woman's lasso of truth.
Just
Yeah, he'll have a rope.
a cheap ass
hung around
belt.
him,
that says
but it'll be
lasso of
like
truth.
spray painted gold, like
I like-
Wonder Woman's rope.
a la Carradine.
That's right.
That's the way to go.
Oh yeah, you pay a hooker in Thailand to tie you up.
Man, it's horrible though, because that's how you get found in the closet, hanging.
He doesn't know that though.
And
He
you
doesn't
don't
know.
care about your reputation after that, right?
Nah,
I guess you don't. I guess you probably don't.
Did he care about it before? Really?
no.
He was still trying to work. He was trying to work. I think he probably gave some shit about it.
All right. Well, there we go. The Batman, March 4th. It all leads to that. Fantastic.
Oh.
Fantastic. All right. Let's jump into the next thing. Just want to let you know the movie was 3 hours long. Really, that's all I really wanted to tell you guys. But then you guys are on this rant and shit, and how Batman, how the man is.
But it was good though. It was good.
All about
Um,
jerking off.
Yeah, pretty much. Johnny had a topic from last week's show when we had the ladies of what do you call it?
Impolite society.
Thank you, my goodness. Anyway, we're gonna talk about that after the break because apparently I have a bladder issue.
Are you itching for a good story? Laughter among friends, maybe even a mystery or two? Well, you're in luck. Fire Breathing Kittens is a standalone Dungeons & Dragons podcast. Each episode is a separate 3-hour-long story, like a movie for your ears, so you can listen to these adventures in any order you like. So join us on a real play D&D quest as we solve mysteries, attempt comedic banter, and enjoy friendship. Fire Breathing Kittens podcast, fantasy, action, mystery, friendship.
Welcome back to Nerds Talking the podcast here with Hugh, Johnny, and Carlos, and I'm Lafayette. The website is we saw it during the break. It is what's percentage it's done? Is it done? Would you say it's done?
Still a little tweaking to do. I'd say it's 80% done.
80%.
It's looking good. It's looking good.
It is looking good. It's looking great.
There you go. And remember to
Thank you,
follow
thank
us
you.
on
Thank you.
Twitter at nerds_talking on Twitter. And you can communicate that way. And we're also on, well, we're basically on every platform. So social media, Instagram, Facebook. Yeah, we're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Johnny had a topic again. It's from the Impolite Society episode. The topic was, can you be friends with your ex? And what are the, I guess, if so, in what capacity? I mean, I think most people will say no, but if so, in what capacity? Because I would say probably the best scenario, I would say that that person already has moved on and has a family, and so have you. So you're more friends in a. But anybody have an example or have an answer? Johnny, you're first because you came up with it, and I want to hear what you got to say.
I mean, is it possible? Yeah, but there's also different levels, different scenarios. If one person still wants to reignite the old flame and the other doesn't, it just kind of depends. So it's a tricky subject, but I mean, I'm friends with
It's a slippery
two.
slope.
Yeah, I'm friends with two people that I've dated, kind of.
You kind of dated, or you kind of friends?
Are you kind of their friend though? Is that what you're trying to say? And
No,
is it because you're friends on Facebook or some bullshit?
No. I was friend with one of them. I was friends in high school. Had the biggest crush on her, and then we tried it. It didn't work. Basically, what that means is she said no and no to a relationship, and then we just remained friends after that. But it was definitely hard. And then,
But she's not really an ex. That was you just being a stalker
Right.
and then being denied.
You kinda. I mean, if
So, I mean, it's not
if-
the same.
right, but if at any point, I mean, I was basically sticking around for the
Stick
longest
it in.
You
time.
were stalking.
No,
Come on now.
no.
I mean, your answer is
Come on.
horrible.
I will.
Come on.
I'll be the first to admit if I'm stalking. I wasn't.
Show us
stalking.
your shins and your arms. You know you have scars from the rose
So
bushes outside our window.
basically,
Professionals
give me
wear
examples.
pads. Professionals
Okay,
wear
that's one of your
pads.
examples that isn't really a good example. Give me another example.
There is another girl that I dated in the army, and
Okay.
we had lost touch, and then reconnected years later, and now she's got a bunch of kids, and yeah, but we're still friends.
But see, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. It's easier to be a friend when somebody has moved on and established a whole entire life. Now you're just like, oh, your kids. Oh man, you got these kids and they look great. They're like, you're not gonna be friends with an ex that is still single and out there and having a good time. Especially if you're married or in a relationship, it's just not gonna work.
Right. But when I had reconnected with my army girlfriend, we were both like newly single at the time. But then I was also newly laid off from my job, so I couldn't like scrounge up enough money to like live and go see
Loser.
her. And, oh, for sure, loser.
But see, that's also a different situation, though. Again, you're single. You know what I mean? That's different. I guess what we're trying to say is, can you be a friend with your ex in a current relationship? Again,
Yes.
my answer would be
Yes.
no.
Yes.
No. Listen, it's no if you don't have a family. If you're not married, if you're just dating someone, and all of a sudden, oh, this is my ex, and
Thank you.
it's not going to work out in your favor unless for some reason your current girlfriend or whatever is super cool with. Oh, that's fine. She can be your friend still.
But how do you define friend, though? I mean, it's not someone you can hang out with all the time. You can still be friends with someone and not hang out on weekends, or you just chat. That's all you're doing. You're just chatting or hanging out, or you run into each other every once in a while. I mean, how do you define friend in this situation?
Friend is somebody that you actually confide in with for some reason, or you pick up and call, hey, what you up to? Oh, hey, blah, blah, blah. Running into somebody's different. That's not really a friend so much. That's just, oh, hey, how's it going? It's been a while. Like a friend where literally like your current significant other knows, oh, you still talk to your ex, but you guys are just friends. It's cool. That's, what I mean? Like,
I do that
that's like, okay, how's it working out?
just fine.
And this other ex, is she married?
She is now. She wasn't when
And
we
she-
were still talking, like not talking like we want to hook up, talking, just being friends. But she's currently married. But she wasn't. We were still friends after we were still friends. So yeah, you can be friends with your ex.
Well, let me ask you a question. And did you guys make it?
Good, hey, good one. Good question.
Entirely different. Entirely different.
No, good question though.
Did you go steady?
You mean did we have drinks and then did we make it?
Did you wear your class ring? That's all I want. I mean, different situations, right? Like the army girlfriend, she lives in another state, so we're not going to run into each other that frequently. But when we talk on the phone, it's for hour or so at a time, maybe once or twice a month. I would say that if the proximity was closer, especially when we were both single, then that would have changed everything.
I think it all depends also on who you are currently with.
Mm-hmm.
Because who are you currently
just
with?
said that.
Are they? No, but
Nobody
shut up.
listens to you. You
Yeah,
motherfucker. Shut the fuck up.
I'm confused.
I'm not the host. I'm not a host for nothing. But because your significant other currently right now, depending if they're a jealous person or if they're okay with it. If they're a total jealous person, you're not friends with any female. I don't care if you're just passing. I don't care if she just hands you a receipt at the grocery checkout stand. You're like, why'd you look at her like that? She gave me the receipt. No. I saw the way you looked at her when she said paper or plastic. It all depends on who you're with. And you can still be friends, even if you're both single, you can still be friends. It all depends on your mindset. I mean, I knew somebody who,
But that's different. That's the whole different. You could be friends with every ex if you're single. That's like you're available in a sense. You yourself, what's the issue? There's nothing.
but you're
there's
not
no
putting
issue.
yourself out there to be in another
Okay,
relationship
but I
with
think
them.
I think the question is more like, can you be friends with an ex while you're either married or in a relationship? I mean, that's more of the question.
Yes,
Of course,
you
you can be
can,
friends. You can be friends
depending
with
on
everyone and
your
their mom
set-
when you're
your
single.
mindset and who you're with currently.
It's all only comes down to who you're with. In all honesty, it doesn't
Right.
come
Yes,
down
you're
to
right.
anything
Absolutely.
else.
I agree.
It doesn't
I
come down
agree.
to anything else because you yourself can have the mindset of, oh no, she's cool. I haven't really
Right.
talked to her in years, and
Absolutely.
we just, oh hey, what's up? It's been a while. Oh yeah, this is going on. That's a whole different ball game. You have nothing to do with the equation in a sense. It's the other person. That's that's the thing.
Yeah.
Is that person cool with it? Because I would say 90% of women would be like, no, that is not happening.
That's true. And I'm going to say the other 10% are going to act like they're cool with it, but they really are not.
I agree
So
with that
all
as
women
well.
are the same.
Well, again,
Alright.
but it really comes down to that 10% could be in a situation where your ex again is married with kids, and you might be also, and now it just comes down to, hey, your kids want to hang out, oh yeah, we used to date, blah, back in the day, whatever. And they can just talk shit about you and yada, 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 and blah, blah. And then all of a sudden they're friends. But that's, again, I think that's the only way it works, in all honesty. It doesn't work any
you
other
have
way.
to be in a healthy relationship, because if your marriage is going down the drain, then yeah, you can't be friends with your ex because you already have one foot out the door.
But if your marriage is going down the drain, you can be friends with whoever the fuck you want to. I mean, obviously you don't care, right? Because it's fucking halfway down the drain. You're ready to turn the switch on the garbage disposal and call this shit done, right? I mean, you might as well just do whatever you want.
I mean, that's the
as you
thing.
get older, things get a little bit different. Assets are involved, and women get 50% of your shit. And I mean, don't worry, they're not going to find her body. But I'm just saying, like, she'll never get half. She'll get half of this fucking shotgun to the face. I'm sorry. I love you, baby.
Hugh,
Don't worry, this
let's-
can't be
let's-
used in court for nothing. I guarantee it. Don't
let's
worry
hear-
about it.
No,
at
I
work,
don't-
at
let's
work
hear
they call this
Hugh's
evidence.
take. Hugh,
Well, no, I don't disagree. I actually think that it does depend on who you're with. I don't think it has really much to do with anything beyond that. I mean, there's I'm sure there's a small percentage that might actually be, hey, I'm friends with my ex, so you can be friends with your ex, who don't care. And that's a different kind of relationship. It's not in general. I don't think so. There's just too much
Yeah, you're right.
baggage.
there's too much. But if you're single,
So-
go ahead, mingle. You know?
So in theory, it's possible depending on the relationship, but in reality, who here is friends with their ex besides me? Carlos, not Hugh, and Lafayette. Are
would
you?
get his head cut off.
Yeah. Are you
I
still
think
friends with that one
Lafayette and
dude?
Hugh would
And-
have their heads.
Yeah, the
on
one dude from
spikes.
Houston. Yes.
Yeah.
And now-
What was his name? Glory Hole Steve.
Yeah, Glory Hole Jerry.
Whatever.
It's
So you're
Glory
still
Hole
friends.
And
Jerry.
then, in all honesty,
Triple G.
we're in.
I mean, in the end, it doesn't work. It just
No.
doesn't work. For instance, Johnny's army friend. I think it's also distance, and there's enough time in between probably where you guys feel just more like friends in general, right? Not necessarily exes, just friends.
Right. But
Yeah.
I will say when we reconnected, there was a different vibe, and then the conversations were different, and it was more about reminiscing and things like that. So now it's completely changed, and everything's fine. I will say that if at any time the wife said, I'm not comfortable with it, these are my reasons, and she wasn't being crazy, and she said, I don't want you talking to her anymore, I just have to say goodbye to one of them.
Or would you use the military?
Well, which one?
Use the military as your excuse. You PTSD.
Tell us
you
now.
talk
We'll give us the
somebody and-
divorce lawyer.
No,
later.
right. I could
You only
always
said the one.
So I'll be like, so you don't want me to be friends with her because you don't like America? And then just walk away.
Freedom.
Drop the
Yeah.
mic.
That's right. That's right. All right. Well, there we go. So I think our verdict is don't try it, fellas.
No, I think it's possible.
Save yourself.
I think it's possible.
Don't try it. No, don't save yourselves.
I
Again,
think it's possible.
your situation is different at the same time too. You're married with a child, and that other person's married. That's what I'm saying. It takes a certain situation.
Just because you're married and have children doesn't mean. I mean, there's so many married with children people who are cheating. So what does that have to do with anything? It has nothing to do with anything.
Of course, it doesn't do with anything. That's not the point. I told you this. The dominant. I say dominant. What's the math term? I'm looking for here.
Fraction, centimeter.
No.
millimeter.
Keep going. Nope.
Pi.
Keep going.
Square root.
Nope.
Multiplication,
Keep going.
subtraction.
No. You already
Addition,
said
sum.
subtraction. Come
Oh.
on, you guys got this. It's the
Fucking public
division.
school systems
Division.
failed again.
the common denominator. Okay.
Oh,
That's all.
Yeah.
that was next. That was next.
Common denominator
denominator.
is your current significant other, and that's all it comes down to, and nothing more.
Fucking idiots
So.
talking the podcast.
I know we call ourselves nerds.
Yeah, nerds are
Anyway.
smart.
All right, we'll take a break here on Nerds Talking the Podcast. Let's come back for the final segment of the show.
Listen to the Around Comics podcast every week for the not-so-latest news in comics culture. In fact, we don't usually have any news. Heck, we might talk about a comic that came out 25 years ago if it strikes our fancy. Even we don't know until we sit down. That's what happens when three friends get talking about everything from Marvel to DC, indie comics, TV, movies, and beyond. Come hang out with Sal, Chris, and Tom at AroundComics.com and just relax for once, nerd. Search for Around Comics wherever you listen to podcasts.
Welcome back to Nerds Talking the Podcast. Here with Johnny, Carlos, Hugh, and I'm Lafayette. Remember to rate, subscribe, download, review, turn on notifications, tell your friends. Nerds Talking the Podcast. Every episode is available on any digital outlet, and a new episode every Friday. Hey, what do you guys think? Who's better, Elton John or Billy Joel?
Who's the better piano man?
Who's the better piano man, Elton John or Billy Joel? If you can go to one concert, who would you go to?
Man,
Elton John or Billy Joel?
Elton John.
Elton John.
I think
all
I'd go to
right.
Elton John too.
Oh, we got another Elton.
I
on
like
the
Billy
board.
Joel, but I think I'd go to Elton John.
And John. Now remember, this is them in their prime too. Let's not talk about the old fat ones now. We're talking about 80s Elton John and 80s
Man, that's-
Billy Joel.
I would say Elton John too. I feel like that's gonna be an entertaining show.
A more
okay.
hype, a more energetic show, I think.
Yeah.
I'd go with Billy Joel. I think he has better music. I think he has better songs. So because they're
Well-
both piano guys, they're not necessarily singing and dancing. They're still gonna be behind the piano. Elton John just dresses up and has dancers, but Billy Joel has better music. I mean, he just has better songs.
Yeah, I'm
than
gonna
Elton
agree.
John.
Billy Joel.
You know
has
what?
better
I
music.
switched too. You know what? I'll give you guys a
Billy
ride.
Joel.
If you guys want to carpool, because I know more of Billy Joel songs, right?
And I would say I know more Elton John songs, so I would.
Do you really?
I
think I'd
do.
go to Elton John just so I can hear "I'm Still Standing" and "Tiny Dancer," and then I'd like leave after that, and then go
Now,
to the Billy Joel.
Remember,
concert.
they did tour together though for like 2 years.
Did they
did
really?
not.
Oh wait,
Did they
is
really?
that
They
is that
did
an
tour
option?
together.
I'll
Yeah,
go to
that's-
both then.
Yeah, they toured together. You guys didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, they toured
Did they
together.
do dueling
as like,
pianos?
it was like the Piano Men or something like that concert. Yeah, they toured together for that reason because they both played the damn piano. Matter of fact, I'll look it up. But no, I just think there he goes. Billy Joel and Elton John toured together from 1995 to 1998.
Plus, I really
All
like
right.
Elton in that movie. Those two movies. The one movie. What was
Two
it?
movies.
No, the one.
Kingsman?
Kingsman?
Yes, it was hilarious. He was
Kingsman
a-
1 and 2
He was hilarious.
and Rocket Man.
Oh,
that's
Now,
right.
I'm gonna
He was
say
in
that
Kingsman.
move, Rocket Man, that is the most narcissistic move ever. The most because he's
the
still
Kingsman.
alive. Nobody does biopics while you're still alive.
Right.
Come on now. That is narcissistic to the top because it's and the very last song that they do in that movie is "I'm Still Standing," almost making it sound like, "Hey man, look at all the sex I had, look at all the drugs I did, and I'm still here." Thanks, Elton. Now that we know,
Yeah, but
moving on.
come on, you think that he decided to make that movie? No, somebody approached him and said, "Let's make a movie about you," and you don't have any hits anymore, so it's relevant in the sense where we just go to the point where you had your last hit, which didn't cover his last.
It's not
hit.
relevant
His last
though
hit-
because he's still doing tours. I mean, the guy's still making money.
I understand,
He
but
didn't
he's
need
not,
to do the movie.
He's not making any new music, and his life it was fairly interesting watching that movie. To be honest, I mean, it wasn't not interesting.
Oh
didn't
no, I
see it.
understand that, but how many biopics have you seen where the guy's still alive?
That is a good question. Biopic where someone is alive.
King
hmm.
Richard. That would you consider that a biopic?
It is no, well, not really, because it's not a biography. It's not about his
but it's-
life per se. It's about a certain 2 years of his life with the kids.
Certain section of his life.
I see.
guess.
Yeah. La Bamba. Let's see what else.
Nope, he was dead.
Oh, which Batman? Had the origin story.
Oh, Val Kilmer just came
Batman.
out with one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
there that one. Batman versus.
I'm trying
Yeah,
to.
that
Yeah,
one.
no, you're right. I can't think of somebody that actually has a movie about them where they're still alive. That's not like a biography type of movie, like a documentary.
Wow. 5G just doesn't do well for you, Lafayette.
Honestly, I'm glad because his point was probably stupid.
Mint
anyway.
Mobile.
It's stupid as fuck.
Mint Mobile.
Man,
on,
you have a smart internet because it's
Mint
filtering
Mobile.
all your bullshit.
You better tweet at Ben City Ryan and say, "I want my money back." 'cause this
My
shit
my
does
favorite
not
part
work.
is Johnny's recommendation that I pay more money to make it better. Like that's gonna make a difference.
It's not going to make the content better.
We're
gonna
gonna run a
run-
wire from your modem to your laptop.
I probably will have to do that eventually.
Lord.
I'm going to run down quick songs of Billy Joel. Okay, Piano Man, of course. We Didn't Start the Fire. Uptown Girl. Just the Way You Are. Still Rock and Roll to Me. Longest Time. Only the Guy Young. The River of Dreams. That's a good song. Moving Out. Moving
Which is
Out.
the Bosom Buddies song?
That is. It's not New York State of Mind, which is a great one. It's My Life.
My life.
Called My
Mm.
Life. Like I'm telling you, this dude has a ton of songs. You're like, this would be a good show. Allentown's a great song. He just has a lot of good. He has more songs you'll recognize than Elton John.
Run down
if
Elton
you-
John.
Oh goddamn, run him down.
You can't run down one, not the other. You asking who's the better piano man?
We went through this one
I
time.
would
didn't we?
would say that I would rather go to Elton John's after party.
Yeah, I think so. Well, I don't know because Billy Joel was a boozer.
You gotta think who's gonna be there, bro.
Yeah, Billy Joel
At,
had
at Elton
gonna
John's
be
after
there.
party,
Hey,
I
Yeah.
think there could be a mix of really interesting people.
Dude.
Yeah.
Billy Joel.
All I know
It's
is
gonna be
there's
a
gonna
night
be-
at the Blue Oyster. That's what it's gonna be. A night at the Blue Oyster with cocaine on every table. So let's
Wait,
settle
you
that
think
one down.
you think it's Freddie Mercury?
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Shut up.
All right, you
Matt,
guys ready? Here we go.
Come on.
Rocket Man, Tiny Dancer, I'm Still Standing, Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me, which was not his song, but he made it pretty big. Benny and the Jets, Crocodile Rock,
Crocodile Rock.
Circle of Life,
Mm.
ba-
Candle
ba-
in the
ba-
Wind?
ba- ba-
Candle in the
Candle
Wind.
in the
Parts
Wind.
1 and 2.
Daniel's not on that list.
Wait, what is it?
Daniel is not on that list.
Daniel is on the list. And that's pretty much it when it comes to the songs that you'll recognize. Yeah.
He was hilarious in Kingsman. Hilarious.
It was.
Well, in
Yeah.
that case, we'll all go to see Elton John then. Thanks. All right. Well, that's our show. Thanks for tuning in to Nerds Talking, the podcast. I don't think everyone knows which concert they'd go to. They're on the fence. I'll still stick to Billy, though.
You know what? I have another question. New Edition is coming back on tour. They're touring with Jodeci. Who's coming with me? No one?
Jodeci,
All right.
no.
I'd
I'm
go
afraid
there. I'd go there.
You're
I'd go
he's gonna
there.
pull his pants down, and I'm not down with that again. Come on.
Who, Jodeci?
Yeah.
That's after the show.
No,
You
that
know,
was during
that's
the
a-
show. He did it during the show.
That's a
got
good
arrested.
show, though.
No,
Man,
this is
that's a-
New Edition.
Yeah.
Charlie Wilson and Jodeci.
And Charlie Wilson. Well, I don't care much for Charlie Wilson. I mean, he has good music. Is he performing the Gap Band stuff? If he is, I'm all in.
No, it's probably just
Ah,
his
He's gonna
song.
be Gap Bandstand. You know he is. Got
You
shot.
know
Song.
his
Song.
famous song. My first name is Charlie. My last name is Wilson. I'm like, okay.
oh, that's
I
a
saw-
good
And,
song.
and that was like 5 minutes. Okay, what was your name again? Charlie Wilson. Hey, girl.
But
No,
he's not
but
pulling his
that's a good
pants down
show,
like
though.
the
That's a
girl
good
from
show.
Brass Against, who pulled her pants down and
Okay,
peed
so
on
who's
stage.
the better band then?
New Edition.
New Edition or Belle Biv DeVoe?
Oh, New Edition, easy.
New Edition.
New Edition, dude,
Really?
easy.
I'm going to Belle
Easy.
Biv DeVoe.
I am
Easy.
too. I am
You
too.
make-
Belle Biv DeVoe.
Time out. You
Ding,
guys
ding,
gave me
ding.
Belle
five
Biv DeVoe has
songs.
one album.
They
Or,
do.
I'm sorry,
They have
do that
two
album.
albums.
No, they have two. They have
albums.
two albums.
I bought
and
it
two
so they
hits.
can get 10 cents from me, but
Yeah.
ugh,
And the second album was horrible. Horrible.
terrible.
And the first one only had like 3 good songs. That's
I saw in
That's
the
it.
interview Belle Biv DeVoe, they were like, "Yeah, we'll never recreate the magic of the first one." I'm like, "So you're telling me this fucking album is not as good?"
Why didn't you
All
tell me
right.
that before I bought it? I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, because think about it, man. They had such a big hit song. I mean, ridiculously big hit song that still plays today.
all right.
They-
How about this
you
one?
know.
then? New Edition or the Jackson 5?
Oh, come on. Not
New
even
Edition.
close.
Jackson 5.
Jackson
Edition.
5 all
Jackson
day.
5. Oh, my God. You
New
are
Edition.
so wrong.
Think about the longevity,
Mm.
right?
No,
The
no, that's just
albums
it.
longevity?
No, Jackson 5. No. Jackson 5 came back and did 2 albums in the 80s, and they were really good. Really. Matter of fact, one album was the Michael Jackson album in the end. It was just him doing all his shit he didn't want on Thriller and Off the Wall and said, we can use this
Dance
crap,
and
fellas.
shout.
Do some background
Torture.
vocals. Like he literally did that. He literally showed up with songs and said, here, you guys just do some backgrounds. This is my album, though. And the album was amazing.
I mean, it's a
It's
personal.
Michael Jackson, you dumb fuck.
He gone,
I
dog.
can't go there. I'm just
They-
not
they-
a big
they
Jackson
can
guy.
still-
Bobby
they-
killed Whitney, Johnny. Bobby killed Whitney.
Ooh, goddamn. He sure did.
Now what?
New Edition.
Yep. Now, are we taking into account New Edition and all the albums that spun off of New Edition? Because that's also a whole different thing, right? Because Bobby Brown's first album was
Ralph
amazing.
Tresvant and,
We take Ralph Tresvant with his 2 hit songs. and
Johnny
we take
Gill.
You know
Johnny
what?
Gill
I,
had, oh man.
I went
So-
to a New Edition concert maybe like 5 years ago.
Mhm.
They were at the casino, Thunder Valley.
Of course. Yes.
And it was pretty cool because they would do one of the New Edition songs, and then Ralph Tresvant would come out, sing 2 of his popular songs, and then bam, he's gone. Bobby Brown would come out, do 1 song. They do a New Edition. They just mixed it up, and it was awesome.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. If we're taking all that into account, that's a hell of a show.
And it's more
Right,
current,
so-
right? Because you're not. That's more of the music that you would know, or that I would know personally, because I didn't grow up listening to Jackson 5. I've heard a few of their songs, and I know New Edition probably sampled off of them quite a bit. Or
Well,
stole.
yeah.
But New Edition is what I know. They're always going to be number 1.
Was your
So-
first wedding
Who-
dance? Was it a New Edition song?
As a matter of fact, it was.
Of course it was.
Which was it? Which was it?
I'm still in love with you.
Wow.
I'm glad we just played the song instead of the video, because the video, if you've ever haven't seen it, you got to Google it. I'm still in love with you, and it starts off all lovey-dovey, and they're just talking about love and everything like that. And the last
Did someone get murdered?
no, but then the last like 30 seconds, all of a sudden they're on a yacht, and there's fucking big titty bitches everywhere. And so which one are you in love with, Bobby?
His ex.
He
All
was,
right.
he was just looking at a big cocaine rock.
Oh, there we go.
Wait, so who goes first if you could actually choose again? Whitney Houston or Bobby Brown?
Who dies first?
Yes.
Oh, Bobby
What?
Brown.
Wait,
needs
who
to
dies
be off
first?
that
Sure.
earth.
I agree.
What the hell game
I
are we
agree.
playing?
Whoa, what happened just now? I thought we were going to concerts.
No,
Yeah,
different,
no. Now
Now
we're
we're
no,
killing
both.
different game.
I
Different
mean,
game.
who goes first, Michael Jackson or Bubbles? I
No,
mean,
no.
Bubbles,
Who
Bubbles.
goes first between in a relationship, Bobby Brown or Whitney Houston? Because there's an argument to be made.
Whitney.
I mean, she was
Clearly,
in it-
Whitney
she
went
was-
first.
Whitney.
Yeah, but
Whitney's
if you
the better artist. I mean,
I agree.
I don't
I'm just saying.
I don't understand the
I
question.
guess the question
I
is that
understand the question is like, who would you kill off first in a relationship between two artists? In a sense,
Oh, Bobby's
right?
dead.
right.
Whose
Bobby's
career
dead
would
before
you
he even
rather
steps out of the
keep
car. He's
going?
going through the windshield.
But you know, but the thing is, what you have to understand is Whitney's career still till this day is better than Bobby's.
100%.
And Whitney
Is there-
had no
is-
career really when she was on drugs and shit. She
Is
had no
is
more
there
hit
not
songs in her.
is there not an argument to be made that Bobby Brown helped to not facilitate her death, but just
He got her hooked
wasn't-
on the
He
drugs.
got her
Right,
hooked on
wasn't he? Right.
drugs.
Right.
He was
That's
a
my point.
supplier. He supplied
But
her.
in the end, he was sober and everything. She just kept going with it. I mean, you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
but
It's
he-
not like-
Yeah, but
He's
by
been
then
in
it's
and
too
out.
late.
Like, he's
oh
not
yeah,
sober, but
he's an enabler for sure.
yeah.
Yes.
100%. But he's not
And-
responsible in the end. I mean,
No, I'm not saying that. I'm
You
just
know.
saying
Yeah,
that
he didn't get kicked out of New Edition for being a really nice guy and for being a good influence. He's a fucking
yeah, but he
dick.
got kicked out for a dick. Thought he was a star, and everybody else was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
like I mean it's not my fault, but you didn't stop it either or try to stop it.
I didn't
Yeah.
blame Bobby for leaving New Edition. Though it was a smart idea.
Is that
No, I mean, he made a
miniseries
shit
still
ton of money.
available somewhere?
Is what
Is-
available?
Is
The
there a
New
monkey in the
Edition
background?
show.
What's going on back there?
Oh, the New Edition movie is fantastic. Did anybody watch
Carlos
that?
mentions bubbles, and then I hear a monkey going on. What's going on?
No, did anybody
Is
watch
that a
the New
Hugh's
Edition
house?
movie?
It is.
Oh
Johnny,
man,
did you watch the New Edition movie?
the TV series?
Series, the TV
Yeah,
series.
yeah.
The TV
Yeah,
series.
I watched
It
it.
was so good.
It was.
so good.
They did a concert. Well, it was like a BET special or whatever, where the cast from the
I
show
saw that too.
and then the real New Edition were singing together. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. The movie was so good though.
But you know, like at the end of the series, there was all this like light of hope, and then like a month later, only 3 of the guys like filed a patent for the New Edition name, and then the other 2 were like bashing everyone else on Twitter, and it was so. It's like any typical good movie, like gives you a little bit of hope at the end, but then I don't know.
And the truth
They-
comes out.
The truth comes out. They get back to their old arguing, and I feel like
Yeah, well,
I've thought about this over the years, and I think that's Bobby probably slept with somebody's girlfriend, or there was a lot of that going on. Like some of those unforgivable acts that you do amongst friends that you just can't quite be the same anymore. And I feel like, and they gave him money when they were kids.
who? Okay, this is not for distract. As before we leave, this is the question for Hugh and Carlos. Johnny Gill was not an original member of the group.
Mhm.
Whose place did he take?
Fuck ask Johnny. He's a New Edition lover.
I know
Jesus
Johnny
Christ,
knows. I
don't
said
fucking
Johnny's
know.
not in on this question.
I have no
I
idea.
don't know.
The question was already in the conversation we talked about. So
Cool.
Johnny
Cool
Gill
beans.
took someone's place. He was not an original member.
Bobby
Whose
Brown's
place,
place.
did he? There you go.
But
Johnny Gill was good. Johnny Gill had a
according
good
to the I'm sorry, go
solo
ahead,
career.
Dave.
He had a good solo career too.
Yeah,
He
before and
had
after.
one song.
Well, here's
No.
the thing. He did not have a good solo career beforehand. He had one hit song before New Edition, and then label didn't know what to do with him. They didn't know how to market him. So he joined New Edition to take Bobby's place.
On the series, though,
Afterwards,
on the
he
series,
joined-
they said that he was slotted to take Ralph Tresvant's place because they were.
Yes, because Ralph wanted out and he was working on a solo album. We're not gonna talk
Mhm.
about this. Is you, Johnny? We can have a whole show about this. We're not right now.
Oh, can we? We can't. We can't. You're just teasing me, man.
Just teasing.
Get my
All
hopes
right, that's
up.
our show. Thanks for tuning in. Billy Joel over everyone, and Hugh. Before we go, what do you got to say?
No. I was just going to say, not everyone. I still would see Elton John.
Okay. No. I mean,
Oh, I got one for Lafayette.
oh shit, another one. The show's over.
Billy Joel
Uh-huh.
or Elvis Presley.
Oh, Elvis Presley all day, every day, any day of the week. So Wake Me Up, I'll go see him. If in the middle of the show and he's on high on coke, I'll go see him. Elvis was
Even
phenomenal.
the heavy Elvis, the barely
Heavy
moving Elvis,
heavy
the stumbling
Elvis
words to Elvis.
He was horrible. Yeah, he was. Yeah, give me like 1970 Elvis when he's rocking and having a good time on stage and drinking.
68 comeback Elvis. You give me that one.
I was listening to the Joe Rogan podcast, and he had mentioned there was a scene in a movie where like Elvis had a full-on erection, and he was like trying to rub on the girl on the movie.
Is that true?
Yeah,
Is that honestly true?
Yeah, that's what he was saying on the podcast, and they had like played the video.
Like 20
and,
movies.
And he was like dancing on her, and she like moved her thigh back, like, "Whoa, what was that? I'm the king. Thank you very much."
Yeah, that's Johnny's line right there.
Yeah.
There's a new Elvis movie coming out this year with Tom Hanks as Colonel Parker.
Who's playing Elvis?
I wonder who's playing Elvis.
Who's playing Elvis?
It's a British guy.
Wait, who's Colonel Parker?
Well, I mean, who is he in general?
Tom Hanks. Oh, Colonel Parker was Elvis's
his manager.
Yeah, he's manager that
who dragged him down.
Strict on him. Yeah.
Ruined his career. Ruined Elvis.
Basically ruined his career.
Elvis.
Yeah, ruined it.
So he was Yoko before Yoko.
There you go.
Yeah, more or less. All right. Well, there you go. That's our show. Thanks for tuning in to Nerds Talking the Podcast, or as Carlos would say, Idiots Talking the Podcast. For Johnny.
See ya.
For Hugh.
Live long and prosper.
For Carlos.
Bye-bye.
There you go. Thank you for talking to the
Oh my
podcast.
God. Oh my God, crickets.
Do it again. Do it again. You
Damn it.
broke
Pay them more
motherfucker.
money.
Open your front door and put your arm out there with tinfoil on it or something.
Why does it when you did it sounded like he's doing Chinese or something?
No, you remember that old trick with your car, your car alarm? Yeah, put the fucking mic to your chin, you dumbass. I can't hear you.
It was so good. It was like,
There you go.
oh,
Thanks for tuning in to the podcast.
Hey,
he did it again.
It's worse. Put it to someone else's chin.
Stick it up your ass, man.
Shit.
How about now? Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Hurry up. Hurry up.
Thanks for tuning in, Nerds Talking the Podcast. See you next time.
This sad ass internet now. He's sad too.
Yeah.